Disclaimer, I am not a lawyer. Quarantine is a Sony Pictures film and belongs to Screen Gems, Sony Pictures, and their respective owners. This video is in accordance to the copyright law and follows 5 points of the fair use clause in the copyright law.
No children.
Hit me! Let's put a smile on that face.
I'm Angela Vidal. We're in Los Angeles, traveling along with the fire department. Is that so bad?
These are the men you'll be shadowing tonight. Wherever they go, you go too.
Police are here. It might be a little more serious than we thought.
A woman was screaming bloody murder back there.
Fire department's about to begin the rescue process. Police say that she lives alone. She's not very social.
Okay. We're gonna get you some medical help, okay?
Yeah, buddy, come on.
Tape everything. You hear me? Tape everything.
Officer down! We have an officer down! I need an ambulance immediately!
Do not try to leave the building. This will all be over shortly.
Why are they isolated?
I don't know more than you do right now, okay?
We were told that tenants inside need medical aid. Chief!
Everyone's been evacuated. Everyone's completely safe.
Why would he say that?
I can't get through to my husband and my daughter has a fever.
We gotta get out of here.
We're filming this! People are gonna see what you're doing to us!
We go out!
They're not gonna let us out of here alive, are they?
No matter what happens, just keep moving.
My daughter has a fever.
I think I know what this is.
We need a doctor. Whose apartment is this? Oh my God.
You have no idea how bad this thing is.
The man who lives here, he...
Let me get out of here! I'm fixing it, come on!
Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's movie review of the film that defines cliche bad time at the movies, Quarantine, starring Jennifer Carpenter and Jay Hernandez. My God, I wish I could kick my own ass for seeing this movie. Seriously, this cliche of a movie is so painful to sit through that I would rather take a physical beating. This movie suffers from so many cliches that it's not even funny. Look, put it like this. Take every single cliche from a horror movie that you've ever seen and dump them all together in one and you have Quarantine. Now, for those who don't know, Quarantine is a remake of the Spanish film of the same name and story. The tale follows Jennifer Carpenter's character, Angela Vidal, as she tags along with firefighters for a full night of journalistic investigation. So, they're later called on to investigate a problem at this creepy building and are soon trapped by the cops and the government when an outbreak of sorts gets loose and starts infecting people left and right. Everyone ends up being trapped and it's a fight for survival, and the enemies are on the outside and inside. Now, I know what some people may be saying, hey, that's a great story, and for those who are thinking that, yeah, you're right. This movie has excellent potential, but sadly the American version of this film doesn't quite follow the Spanish version to the full extent. Cliche after cliche, this movie only gets more annoying instead of actually creeping you out like the original did, and it's really sad since this movie could have been so much better. Now, the atmosphere of this movie is excellent as the environments look scary and does a great job of making for one hell of a scary setup, and the way the infected people creep around in the darkness is scary. Also, the aspect of feeling trapped by those who are supposed to help you is a genius idea as well, and being confined in confusion is one of the scariest things that can happen to people and is a horrible reality. The cast is also solid and stars Jennifer Carpenter, who is destined to get an Oscar and is the new queen of Scream. And anyone who's seen my countdown of my top 20 favorite horror movies of all time knows that I love Jennifer Carpenter, but even her amazing talents couldn't save this movie from its horde of cliches. Let's start with the main character. In the original, the reporter is scared out of her mind, but she keeps her composure in the face of an unknown fear, and the actress does such an amazing job of convincing you that she is scared. I mean, when I was watching the original, I was like, damn, it's like she's really in trouble, shit. But with this movie, it just isn't the case by a long shot. I mean, all Jennifer Carpenter does is cry and sob from the start of the outbreak till the very end like a child. I mean, she just loses all common sense and cries and cries and cries and cries to the point of massive annoyance. I know that people aren't going to be all happy and go lucky in the face of great fear, but on the other hand, people don't turn into sobbing babies with absolutely no common sense. I mean, come on, man. It even went to the point where she couldn't even walk because she was sobbing so much, and she wasn't even injured. There are even parts where an infected is walking by and she's hiding and the infected can't see or hear them. The infected are about to leave the room, and what does Carpenter's character do? She cries, giving away her position. After a while, that just gets annoying and causes people to hate the character when you're supposed to be building them up to be liked and worried about. On top of that, throw all the other generic cliches while you're at it. Only established character killed off first in a stupid manner, check. Poor cinematography, check. Lazy writing and vaguely explaining situations, check. Stupid characters, check. Minority cliches, check. The list goes on too, but my point is that this movie takes nearly all of the worst aspects of a horror movie and combines them. Here, I'll give you another example. Now, I'm not trying to be racist and I have no beefs with any type of person in a movie, but I do have problems when it's a minority cliche. Minority cliches are stupid and attribute absolutely nothing to a film. So, at the start of the outbreak, the cops and the firefighters gather all of the tenants out of their apartments for safety. At one point during the evacuation of the apartments, the cops come across this African couple, or at least it's implied by what they're wearing. Anyways, the landlord of the building only speaks English and he authorizes and deals with everyone who lives in his building. This African couple speaks absolutely no English whatsoever. The landlord has no clue how to deal with them, and neither do the cops or the firefighters. They end up having to use hand signs as if they're talking to animals in order to get these people downstairs. And 5 minutes later, they are the very first ones to die. They played no pivotal part to the movie, which begs to ask the question, why were they even placed here in the first place? All their presence did was kill time. And on top of that, if the landlord knew everyone and how to deal with them, then how come he was so clueless when they came out of thin air? That may not annoy some people, but it sure annoys the hell out of me because it's stupid and the shit just keeps piling on. Here, I'll keep going with the list of stupidity. Some guy walks into clear danger when he's told not to. Useless minority dies first in a stupid manner. Bad guy is played by angry, trigger-happy black cop. Mindless bimbos walk about. Stupid parents walk into deaths in states of hysteria. Even with all this stupidity, the movie isn't even easy on the eyes. Now, I have no problem with Steadicam movies, so long as they're shot within reason. I didn't complain about the Blair Witch Project or Diary of the Dead, even though they both sucked. I didn't complain one bit about Cloverfield either, and I enjoyed that movie, but this is a whole different beast. The camera violently moves everywhere, and you don't know what the fuck is going on 90% of the time. Action scenes are poorly shot, and you don't see shit at all. If Cloverfield made you sick, then this movie is bound to give you a seizure. In the end, all this movie does is prove that American remakes usually don't rival their foreign originals. Look, if you want to see this movie without all the stupidity, I highly suggest you watch the original. It's far better, and it has subtitles, so you should be fine. Quarantine gets a 4 out of 10.